Adam and Whack, and we're back. So I don't know what order we're going to release these because I feel like it's kind of more important than we dropped this one earlier because this is going to be more current events. But we just did almost 2 hours with our ladies.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. Real cool because both of them were a little nervous of both of us.
Yeah, for sure. They definitely got to know us a little bit better, I think. Yeah.
I think because they watch us do the shit we do.
And people are going to realize like what a failure I am as a husband and what a lazy piece of shit I am. Not even lazy, just like ignorant. Like I just don't really even know
but
what the hell I'm supposed to be doing as a man of the house.
No, here's the thing.
And you're like a security guard and she's loving it. She's like, oh yeah, that's a real man.
But here's the thing though with you, right?
Yeah.
That's who you always been. She fell in love with you.
Yeah, I think she just felt like, you got to understand, I'm somebody who's very overwhelmed by the normal human stuff. I never had a job. I never really, well, when I was like in high school and shit, but like I never really had to like do a lot of like normal people problem solving type stuff. You know, I never would have wanted to buy a house. I would have been still living in the same apartment that I'm just like not really that kind of person. Whereas her, on the other hand, she's like the most responsible person I've ever met in my entire life.
Well, that's where the balance comes from.
Yeah. I don't know if she likes that though. I think I think she thinks it still needs to be a little bit more of a fair balance.
Well, first of all, don't get it twisted. I don't do the labor of the stuff, but I will, see what the problem is, call the people, talk to the people, negotiate what they got to do. And it's easy because once you go through a bunch of people and you find the ones that's not trying to cheat you and cut corners and give you some good fair rates, you just marry yourself to them. And every time, and that one guy, like if it's an electrician, he knows a plumber.
Right.
And he knows it. So that's all. Once you find that one guy, he's going to put together your whole little team. And it's no different than what you do right here at No Jump.
Well, for me, it's like, I don't know how to work on my computer. We got to install some new programs. We got to set some shit up with the cameras. I don't know how to do it. Now, I went and did a podcast with Destiny the other day. He's setting up all the cameras, focusing them, turning on every little thing. He knows how to do all of it. I would love to be that kind of person, but I never really had that mentality. Instead, for me, it's like, no, I'm going to have a guy on my team who can handle that kind of shit because my mind is so preoccupied with all this other shit that I don't want to have to think about those things. But I also think that's kind of like a defective mind state because I would be a more complete, interesting human being if I was capable of that kind of stuff. You know, it's
no, you wouldn't. It would distract you, bro.
But maybe I need to be distracted by more real world stuff instead of just keeping going deeper and deeper into the rabbit holes that we're doing content wise.
No, listen to what you're saying. So you want to be distracted on setting up the camera when your whole success comes from you being on the camera.
But me not knowing anything about the cameras, people say, what kind of cameras you got? I don't know.
You do know. You got it now on the flip side.
I don't know. I'm looking at the camera right now. I don't know what kind of camera
on the flip side of it, right? Yeah, Destiny's over there. He probably got a one pony show. Boom, 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 let's go. But on the other side of it, well, you know what makes you Adam? Is you create situations to help other people.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So there's the difference. And believe it or not, these guys around us are part of our character and personality.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so at the end of the day, it's like, I think if you started to try to figure that out, then you're going to lose traction on what you already got figured out.
That's how I always kind of felt. But then when it comes to stuff like the house and like the fact that she's the one communicating with the pool guy, at a certain point, she shouldn't
be communicating with the pool guy.
Right. I agree. But she's just always done it. She's never even opened the door a little bit for me to be talking to the pool guy.
Milkman, no.
Milkman?
I mean, back in the days, bro.
Yeah, I know, but you got a milkman?
No, I'm just saying, back in the days.
You got an Instacart guy.
I just saw an old man on Instagram.
That's the new
milkman. Dude went to court. He was about 70, 80 years old. He said, God damn it, I don't think none of these kids is mine. So you think, he said, I think they're the milkmans. And when the DNA came back, wasn't none of the kids his. They was 40, one was 50, other one late 30s.
What do you think I should do if I find out the kid's not mine? Now, the kid looks exactly like me, so it seems unlikely. But
she wouldn't do that.
What would you say that I should do if I had a similar revelation?
I'm going to be real. Knowing you,
I'm out.
Nah, you wouldn't be. No, you wouldn't be.
But I don't know how I
You're
would
too
look at my
attached.
kid if I felt like it wasn't mine and it was the product of deceit. I don't know.
You too attached. I think you would bag up, but as a man on some man shit, I don't think you would turn your back on that little girl. You're too attached, bro.
I know, but I feel like such a bitch taking care of somebody else's kids. Even though I do respect people who do that. I've had friends throughout my life that just end up with a single mom and all of a sudden they just snap into dad mode, and I really respect it. But that's them already having a kid. That's so different than your girl deceiving you. And
I hear. Now watch this. Let's say she has no idea who did that. Let's just say whoever it is, right? She don't know who it is. And you bag up and you move on. You gonna get remarried, have other kids, right?
Mm.
And this is some movie type stuff. And 20 years go by and you're jumping out the car, going to the store, and it's a girl in the front with a sign saying, I work for food, and she looked like she's all on drugs, and you realize it's the little girl that you left behind because what the mother did.
I'm going to keep it pushing. It ain't my problem. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. What am I going to do? Your kid's a hobo? You're supposed to take him in and teach him how to not be a crackhead?
Wouldn't a thought come across your mind? What would it have been if you would have been there?
Yeah, but then she's just a random person to me, right?
The little girl would never be a random person to me.
I'm so glad that my kid looks like me enough that I don't feel like I have to worry about it. Because I know a dude from back in the day, a legendary BMX rider, took care of a kid for, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years, finds out it ain't his.
He killed himself?
Yeah.
I got one of my homegirls, and the homie showed up to the delivery room, and she like, this ain't your baby, this such and such baby.
She broke it to him in the
She told
hospital.
him straight up, this ain't your baby, this such and such baby. In the delivery room. Had been this woman for years and years and years, right? So and who she say the baby was the homie's little homie. He my generation, but to the homie who it was, that's his little homie. But watch this. So he bags up, because she's older, right? 21, 22 years, about 18 years later, right? Little kid gets curious and goes and does this thing, whatever they do, and it didn't lead back to the homie, to the father. The first homie was really the father the whole time.
Oh, that's tough. Yeah.
She turned around hitting for back payment child support.
What? They could do that?
Yeah.
What? Oh, that's scary.
Yeah. So the original dude, it was really his child. The one she said, this ain't your kid, it's his. So the other homie is taking care of the baby all the way up to 18, 19, whatever it is, and then he get hit with a bomb that it ain't his, it's really.
Wow.
Yeah, so me personally, all of them need to get tested. I don't give a damn how much they look like you. Because I've been wrong 7 out of 10 times on goddamn Maury. That's a fact.
Really? So you watch that and try to predict it?
What? In prison.
Oh, I heard Netflix put out a Jerry Springer documentary.
Listen, I've been wrong. I'm like, that's his. Ain't no way. It is not. I'm like, God damn. I've noticed a lot of women mess with men that are similar to each other on some real shit.
Because I was thinking, if she had a kid with somebody who had traits as if they were me, look like me, that's how you get one through.
This dude who's claiming to be Krishan Rock's baby father.
What's his name, Ronnie?
Whatever it is, okay? And then look at Blueface. They're in the same.
They're close enough
in
looks
that
it could be. Okay.
You know, women have a type like men have a type. Mm. So, you know, when kids are like that small, you know, you can't really tell. You know, now once they get of age, you're going to see it. You know, it's going to be without the benefit of the doubt. But, no, man, I think the podcast was great. I think fun. Both of them was a little nervous of how it was going to go. And I told R&B it went a fast-paced thing is debate, argumentative, table banging, all that. I didn't want that to be that.
No, it
I
wasn't
think
really
the
like that.
people they're gonna watch that because they're gonna want to know what's next. Okay, where are they going with this?
They're going to see a little bit more of our human sides, I
That's
think.
a fact.
Yeah. Speaking of human sides, a lot of humans got turned to sides in this goddamn fire.
I thought it was like
that
what
good?
10.
No. It's like 5 dead. I think I saw. It might be 10 by now.
And those probably people refuse to leave.
Really, they got turned to entrees.
They probably people.
I'm
that refuse
sorry.
to leave.
I don't know how I ended up on this. No disrespect to them. But yeah. Fucking the crazy. You ever seen anything like this in your history of being in LA?
Listen, I'm gonna be real. I'm ashamed because the number one problem is we are out of water.
Yeah.
Our fire hydrant system, however it's set up, guess from our last fire, the lady, and she's scared to answer questions. They caught her in the airport, cut back the the firefighter side, $17.6 million, which they didn't go back and restock our water supply that feeds our hydrants. Fire truck hooks up to the hydrant. It usually takes 1 minute to fill the tank on the truck. Now it's taking 10 minutes because the pressure's not there because of lack of the flow of water. And then when they're trying to spray it, the hydrant is running out of water. There's no pressure there. Then a lot of the hydrants not working. So now you got fires burning and they're like, there's nothing I can do about it. The truck gets there. There's nothing they can do.
But there's a lot of people who are trying to use this as a political cudgel to basically say that the Democrats have ran Los Angeles into the ground and completely mismanaged everything. But also what I'm hearing is that they had like 3 million gallons of water and that they went through it almost instantly. And that if there had been 10 or 20 times as much water, it still wouldn't have made a dent. Like this was such a catastrophic situation that
I can't say that.
any decisions made by the government probably wouldn't have really mattered that much. That's what I'm hearing. It didn't rain for 8 months straight.
Because those 3 million gallons of water would have stopped some of the blaze that led to other blazes.
It would have stopped some, but I just don't think it would have really had that distinctive of a. You know what this is like? This is like how the Republicans will always say that Skid Row is the Democrats' fault. But it's like, then the Republicans get into office. Trump was in office for four years. What the fuck happened to Skid Row? It's the same shit. What are you going to do with 100,000 homeless people? You can't just get rid of them. You can't just tell them to move around. So I feel like this is pretty much like a natural disaster that everybody's looking for somebody to blame. I don't think there's really anybody to blame in particular.
But let's think about it. You think it was strategically done? I'm looking at it. I got Pasadena here, Malibu here, Sylmar, San Fernando, Pacoima here, and it's a triangle, and right in the middle, Hollywood, which didn't go ablaze until the winds and the, all that happened. Hollywood goes up. They contain that, but looking deeper into the fire, Adam.
The trenches were really spared. All the rich ass areas are the ones burning.
No, yeah. Thinking about this, bro. Now the fire's a fire. Like $52 billion in damage right now, and it's still burning. Probably gonna double that, at least another 50% of that. Now, let's talk about this. From the bottom to the top. The gardener who had all them contracts is taking the hit.
Oof, yeah.
Those businesses, all jobs, people taking the hit.
Oh, yeah.
People's homes and personal cool, the schools, we got teachers. The trash guy that was his route, taking the hit.
Yep.
It's a lot of people. Now we're just not talking about one area. We're not just saying it's Malibu. It's Malibu, Pasadena, San Fernando Valley, Hollywood, right? It's a lot of people displaced, a lot of people taking hits, and I'm hearing within the last 30 days, the insurance company canceled fire insurance.
Yeah, I mean, we've been hearing that for a long time. Is you can't even get fire insurance in a lot of those areas because it's so expensive for them to insure.
It's usually like some outside vendor, because I had to call an outside vendor to get earthquake insurance. Cost an arm and a leg, but we was able to get it, right? The people I got one insurance with one company for the majority, then I got another company that just provides earthquake. So now let's talk about it. A lot of people in these locations, they have money, but you got some of these homes is can go from a $5 million to $150 million home, right?
Yeah.
If the reason the home is destroyed is fire, you have to, they pretty much saying you got to now rebuild that home with your own dime.
I've seen a lot of shit about people who owned homes that were worth $4 or $5 million and they burnt to the ground, and now almost instantly people are offering them $700K for the land. I mean, think about how shitty that's got to feel. That your property just went down in value by 80% drop.
See, it's not going to work like that unless the home is free and clear. It's a bank over there saying we still owe $2 million.
Will people even want to rebuild in a lot of these areas? You know, Pacific Palisades, super nice area. It's the kind of area that for people like me and Lena, we drive up there because it's kind of near Malibu once in a while. You go to the nice shops. They got all these designer stores, nice food spots, whatever. We go up there once in a while. Malibu, these houses along the beach. You got to understand, these are like the most expensive houses in the country. Me and her have always looked at Zillow and kind of fantasized about like, God, it would be so sick to own a house over here, but they're like $15 million. It's like totally unrealistic for us. We're looking at them, just fantasizing about that. There's videos of people driving along. It's PCH, right?
Yeah.
Every single one burned down for miles and miles and miles. And these are houses that are like the nicest spots in the country.
I don't know.
Mostly owned by extremely wealthy people or people who, you know, inherited them over the
years. Tell me
Mastro's
burned down over there.
That did too?
The other spot, it was like Blue Moon or whatever. Summer. It's like, it's a lot burned. In my lifetime, I've seen some fires. I've never seen this. And again, it's burning in those high dollar areas. This ain't the ghetto.
Yeah.
Now I've seen about 50 people arrested for looting.
Really?
The homes. I don't know what they looking to find. Maybe somebody left a safe or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because we actually, so there was a fire in the Hollywood area that was like kind of close to us. So we actually ended up taking off last night. Luckily, she's got a second house that she normally just shoots content in that we were able to stay at. But yeah, that was kind of a concern for us. Number one, nice for me to realize that everything I have in the world easily fit into a suitcase. I don't really have a whole lot of possessions. So that was cool. But then beyond that, yeah, it was kind of scary to think like we're sort of abandoning our house. Like anybody could just sort of run up in here and take whatever they can want. And most of our neighbors are gone too. So it's like the cops are obviously preoccupied.
You know what? I'm sorry. Let me take it back. They were going to the communities that they were telling people to evacuate.
Yeah.
So they was running up in those houses. They caught them. But this is crazy. I'm hearing the ocean water for some reason. The salt water is really.
They can't use that, I guess.
They can't use it.
I don't know why it would like destroy the soil or something.
I don't know. I do know this. Kay Slay used to tell me all the time. There's nothing we have, no technology that we have that could stop the forces of nature. Right? So right now I think we are our strongest. We got electric cars, we got all kind of stuff, we got all these different electronics. But we couldn't stop a fire. We couldn't make sure we had enough water. So what happens when everything, this is just California, nothing else is going on nowhere. So what happens when the fires start here and then it starts shaking in Nevada, and then the tornado or the flood start in Florida along the Gulf Coast line. Then it start tornadoes running through Kansas and everything is just going at the same time. What happens?
No, I don't know.
It's coming one day, but it made me realize a lot of things I have over this next 90 days, I'm going to really kind of get rid of. Because if something like that happened, I would have had to leave it behind to burn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I was feeling. But for me, it's just like a bunch of clothes. I don't even really have that many clothes, and I'm not really
too much extra shit.
I don't really care about any of it. It's like if I lose, 20 grand worth of pants, okay. That's okay. Yeah. I'm fine with that.
Well, you dealing with other shit, but I said, you know what? I need to, because I just got shit there to be there.
But even just driving around the neighborhoods and shit, like even just trying to find my way from our house to her other house, it's like a 4-mile drive. And I'm having to hit all these weird routes and stuff because there's just so many random fires. certain streets are just going so slow because there's just like all the traffic lights are out and stuff. It's just been it's really the closest feeling I've had to the pandemic in a while, because just everything's just shutting down and nobody knows what to do.
Electricity was still on?
Electricity was still okay. Yeah. Realistically, we really didn't have to leave our house. We just did it because we felt like we didn't want to wake up at 3 a.m. to an alarm saying, "Hey, you got to get the fuck out of your house." We figured we might as well just sleep down the street instead. But yeah, it's been a wild situation. Hopefully, everybody out there is all right. I don't even know. Like, somebody was getting on our case on the Reddit for not talking about the fires while it was happening. I'm like, what the fuck are we really going to say about it?
Yeah, like,
what conclusions can we draw?
I kind of want to go see it, but then I kind of don't.
Yeah. You're seeing so many bad conspiracy theories pop up in real time. Like, because apparently trees, like a whole house can burn down, but the trees in the front of the house won't burn down because the trees have so much moisture in them. Okay? But there's a lot of people saying that the trees still being there and the house is burning down is evidence that this was all like a controlled thing. There's always going to be somebody who's trying to convince you that this was created, that it's not just an accident. This is not just how nature works, that this is the end of society because somebody has decided to make this happen. I'm like, you really telling me you think that somebody came, blew up the car in front, blew up the cars in the driveway, burned the house down, but somehow was able to engineer protecting the trees? How?
That's crazy.
How could anyone do that? This is just, I don't know. And I know a guy who got so many millions of views on Instagram promoting this idea. And I don't know how anyone could really go for this, but
people want to see it.
Yeah. People love conspiracy theories. It's one thing you realize. Vlad said that to me because he's just pointed out that, like, whenever he does shit with like alien people want to talk about aliens, those are like a lot of his biggest viewed episodes, even though there's absolutely no facts that could be attributed to a lot of these people. It's just
that facts come from what's common.
The mouse.
Facts come from what's common and what we see.
Yeah.
All the time. That doesn't mean that people don't see things. It's just that if it's not common, people are not gonna believe you. They're gonna call it a conspiracy, and they're gonna say you crazy.
But it's like,
I've seen some things.
It's so easy to get information now that you can so easily fire up Google or ChatGPT and say, "Hey, why did the trees not burn but the houses do?" And I guarantee they're gonna give you a great answer. And still, people would rather do their own research. Why does do your own research always mean just making shit up publicly? It never means like, oh, I actually went out of my way to find out what the experts think about this.
Are you saying these people that's faking like they conspiracy, they just making it up?
Our whole internet ecosystem encourages you to do so.
They making shit up.
Yeah, and even in hip hop,
made up on me all the time.
Oh, but okay, you want to know the craziest new example? We have to fault Drake for once. For once, Drake has done something wrong.
What?
His first L of the year. So there was text messages leaked in which Drake insinuated that LeBron cheated on his wife, etc. It's like there's this whole thing. It's actually fucking complicated. I could read this whole thread if you guys really want to understand this. But basically, I feel like I should, because this thread is so good. I'm gonna send it to you right now. This was
Drake was. Well, I can't say he was telling. Well, how did it leak?
Watch this.
Who'd he send it to?
I am going to.
Did Drake leak his own text messages?
No, this will all be answered. Donnie, I'm sending it to you. Bunk. There we go. This is too good. We could edit out a little bit of this dead space right here because this is just too fascinating of a dynamic for us to not get all the details right.
D. John Paul quit. He got fired.
We're going to do that next too. Don't worry. I was having a good old time. All right. So here we go. How Drake got caught lying and destroyed DJ Akademiks' credibility in just 24 hours. I'm not saying he destroyed his credibility entirely, but watch this. All right. So Chris Blake Griffith, a clothing designer, was attacked and robbed by Stephon Diggs, an NFL player's brother, and 2 friends. Stephon Diggs apparently tried to make a zesty move on Chris, and he turned him down. So Diggs sent his brother and his friends to take him out. So first off, dudes is down low savages sending dudes to kill people or hurt people to cover up their own zesty activities. Shocking.
So he sent some hitters at the dude he tried to make a pass out.
Yes. So this is already pretty wild by our standards, right? Okay. But luckily, Chris escaped. The perpetrators got arrested and eventually had to do some community service. I guess this is a video of them trying to run down on him. It's a minute 15.
See, that would have been easy.
Okay. So then enter Drake. Chris has designed clothing for Drake for his OVO brand and have some history. Drake has some evidence of some sort that will help Chris further his legal battle against Stephon Diggs. So Chris asked Drake for help, but Drake declined. Now, I mean, that's Drake's right to not want to get involved in this. The connection between the two got heated, and Drake apparently called him a rat, which prompted Chris to leak some DMs on his Instagram between him and Drake. The shocker on the DM was within the message, Drake is insinuating that LeBron may have cheated on his wife, Savannah. So we can read it. This is the dude saying, damn gang, unfollowed me. I got to make this bigger so I can actually read it. I don't know how it's going to work, but yeah, it's not really getting bigger. I'm trying to make it bigger, but it's actually smaller now. Whatever. I can. Oh, whatever.
So dude released him.
From the college. Well, maybe this guy just wrote a good description of it so that I don't have to read the whole thing. Okay, the connection. All right, so the shocker on the DM was within the message. Drake is insinuating that LeBron may have cheated on his wife, Savannah. There's other stuff in these texts, but people can go read that if they want. Possibly afraid of the repercussions of the DMs, Drake wanted to shut it down, so he contacted Akademiks to tell him that the DMs were fake. As soon as Akademiks heard the confirmation from Drake, he quickly posted on Twitter that the DMs were fake and that Chris is only using this to get clout. Ak wrote, "This is a fake DM. Drake called Buddy a rat. He got mad and made up some fake DM to try to make the blogs and go viral. End of story. Source, the boy." So this is very much Ak, leveraging the fact that he has this relationship with Drake where Drake will confirm this sort of thing. We don't know if Drake reached out to him or if Ak reached out to him. Either way, Drake says that it's not real. Ak reports it. Everybody takes it at face value because Ak typically in this sort of situation, has he been wrong about some stuff for sure, but for the most part, it seems like he's a pretty valid source about celebrity gossip, rapper news, whatever. Most of the news outlets that posted the DMs quickly deleted once Akademiks announced that Drake himself and told Ak that the DMs were fake. But in the end, Chris, extremely furious for not only being called a rat, but also a liar, posted a video, and the video shows that the DMs are in fact real and that Drake lied to Akademiks to try to cover up the stuff he said about LeBron and LeBron's wife.
So now comes the question. See, this is where the hunter side training kicks in.
Okay.
Akademiks always checks in with Drake to get the truth facts. And then Akademiks says it and they feel like it come from Drake, so everybody rolls with it. If Drake lied about this, what makes you think he didn't lie about a bunch of other things?
Well, we know he lied about a bunch of stuff with the whole Kendrick thing. I mean, we could all probably assume that Dave Free's not piping his wife, right?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying.
And other things.
I'm just saying things that Ak may have been like touching bases on and saying, well, Drake said, what was Drake thinking? Kendrick got dude off balance, bro.
But okay.
Not for real. He's not thinking these days.
But saying some shit is fake is almost such a normal reaction to shit.
Not when he has it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He has it. You know he has it on his phone.
I'm sure I can think of instances in which people have said, oh, what about this? And I was like, that shit's fake. And it wasn't fake. And I was just saying it because I just didn't feel like talking about it. And that's my one concern about this, is that it's being presented as if Drake had an in-depth conversation with Ak in which he specifically tried to make the argument that those texts were fake, when it could have just been like, nah, that shit fake.
I'm going to say Drake told Akademiks they were fake. I'm not going to say Akademiks plot and plan to say, okay, we're going to say this, I'm going to say you said that, and we're going to say that. I believe Ak just took Drake's word for it. I don't think Ak's credibility should be shot. I just think now he knows he can't take everything that Drake says as face value.
That's true. Because, I mean, they've established a relationship in which we expect Drake to have a reasonable amount of respect for Ak. And to be fair, if Drake had said, yo, it's fake, but don't tell him that I said that it was fake, I think we would all respect that a little bit more, because what Drake may have unwittingly done or wittingly done is that he may have put Ak in a position where his whole credibility is now very much in question. Now, I think it's pretty easy to see how the situation played out, and it's easy to see how Ak was basically just doing what he felt was his journalistic duty to the people.
Exactly.
And he really did stop the spread of this story, because a ton of people deleted it. Even like Danny from the Stop is a YouTuber I watch.
He abused it, bro.
I watched a 7-minute video that Danny from the Stop made about these texts, and the whole time I was thinking like, damn, that's embarrassing that Danny made this video not knowing that those texts were fake. I don't know if he took the video down or not, but now I'm like, oh, my dumbass believes that shit was actually fake because of the source and the fact that I felt like this was a valid enough relationship that there wouldn't have been any tomfoolery involved.
Well, it's obvious. Women lied, men lied too. And God damn it, it looks like Drake lied on this one. And I believe that Drake is off balance right now. He's not thinking things through. You seen what happened, with UMG. I don't think he thought that through. Realize how much freedom he had, how much they backed his play. I just think he needs to focus on himself, put the BS behind him. It's a new year. It's a new day. You still got fans, and stop worrying about what you think people think, because it has him thinking a little different.
But that's the thing, is that Drake has so many people around him, smart people involved with his business on the management side and PR or whatever. Like, he probably just has access to so many resources that the way that you and I have to think on our feet and make decisions about what we're doing with our career, I just feel like Drake could easily go into cruise control mode. When he posts anything on social media, for sure there's all kinds of buffers that he could use to tell him if they think that it's a good idea or not. And you would think that would insulate him from some of these things going so poorly. However, in this situation, those texts coming out, it's not really like his fault. It's just the fact that this guy decided to be vengeful and release them. But that being said, him making that move with Ak is very questionable.
I mean, he had to defend himself. They called him a liar. They called him a rat.
But also, there's no chance that Ak would take this and say, I'm not you anymore, Drake. The relationship's too valuable.
Nah.
But it'll be interesting to see how Ak deals with it.
I'm going to be real. I hate to say it, but I think it might be over with.
Drake's whole career?
No. I think Drake will be the one to pull back. Not that Ak wants him to, but I think Drake is kind of like, he was enjoying watching Ak's following react to whatever he says. But I don't think he's going to enjoy the next time Ak say something and the chat is like, liar, hashtag. We don't believe him. I think him seeing the reality of what it is, of people shifting from him, I don't think he wants to experience that.
Maybe we should call Ak. Maybe we should get his expert opinion on this, right? See what he's got to say. I'm sure he's probably already thinking about saying it publicly. Akademiks. Let's see. Oh, maybe he's on.
I got a text today of somebody asking me, yo, is Ak okay? We ain't heard from him in a couple days.
Well, I know
he's supposed to go live today.
He went to Canada to do content with Vibes Cartel and Top 5, I guess. I think he did interviews with them.
He got some top from 5? Damn,
5
man,
guys.
what you doing? They told me dude was kind of funny.
He could be live right now. Actually, I didn't see it earlier when I looked at YouTube, so probably not.
Yo.
Akademiks. I'm with Whack 100 and we're filming this week's episode. We want to know, are you planning on altering your relationship with Drake in any way now that the new narrative is that he lied to you and f***ed up your journalistic credibility?
I'm telling them you had no idea that you were being told a lie, nor did you help plot around that lie. You just took it for very face value.
Hey, listen, I'm not into no artist lie to me. I'm not in cahoots with no line. I've been seeing that interesting narrative, man. I'm still doing my independent research. What's your opinion?
He lied to you, bro.
Adam in the building.
He lied to you, Ak. He lied to you. I feel he lied to you. You took what he said.
Lied to me.
Well, he said that
he said the texts weren't real, right?
Yeah.
But they were.
He definitely said that.
But they were. Like, dude went and showed.
Hold on. Are we sure it was real?
He showed the full thread, bro. I don't think you knew. I think you just took what he told you at face value. He showed the full thread. Like, you go to your shit, screen record, scroll down, he showed them.
Are we 100% true that, hold on, first of all, did you guys discuss that this is the same person who said that Stephon Diggs try to R-word him?
So is that totally out of the realm of possibility? Because I don't know who Stephon Diggs is. I don't know if he's a potential zest monster or anything like that.
Stephon Diggs, for what we know, is a heterosexual male that plays in the NFL.
We thought that about Diddy too.
Hold on. That we've heard, number one, he's already alleged to have been the person, not alleged, because Cardi gave me the confirmation. He's the guy who, he was in conversation with Cardi B. This guy is supposedly the guy that is now supposedly was taking advantage of the same guy that is now saying that him and Drake was having this conversation. I'll say this, because I did. So when I asked Drake, I said, Drake, check this out. And I'm not gonna lie, I led with it didn't feel real. So I said, hey, is this real? And I said, hey, listen, I said, I'm skeptical about this. I don't want to report it from my platform without at least having some conversation with you, because I know this guy already is saying that he was sexually assaulted by Stephon Diggs. That seemed like a far-fetched thing.
Right.
And I don't know if we're believing that. So I said, because the internet doesn't know this guy and they're just seeing random guys make a mention of Drake, I have a memory of an elephant. This is the guy who said that a known football star who we do know have some association to Cardi B, he's saying that known football guy tried to sexually assault him. That's a little bit far-fetched to me, which, by the way, me and Stephon Diggs didn't speak about that before. But I said, hey, listen, this might be a little bit far-fetched. So I said, hey, listen, Drake, is this something that is true? Okay? Now,
did Drake give you like a full in-depth response, or did he just say like, nah, that shit fake?
No. Oh, okay. So, I mean, the full thing he said was that, hey, listen, I do know this guy. So he confirmed he knew this guy, right?
Uh-huh.
I brought up the guy credibility instantly, because I said, hey, listen, I think the internet wants to see anything that is said against you just be written in stone. But I'm a little bit more shrewd than that, because everybody who I report on, I have a memory of an elephant. I said, instantly when I seen him say this, I remember that he claimed sexual assault allegation from a known football player that no one has ever alleged is gay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So that's why I really reached out. If it was some random guy, so I knew somewhat this guy operates in a circle, and the first thing Drake said, hey, no, I know this guy. He said, hey, listen, this is a guy who, because of Javonte Davis, his association and what people know him in my circles, yeah, we do know this guy. So I said, okay, so you know this guy. Okay, cool. So that's important. I said, the next thing is, well, he has some information, and I'm going to be honest with you now in hindsight that I've read the messages that supposedly he put out, that supposedly Drake said, it's not as indicting as, you would imagine it to be, but it did feel very indicting to me. You know why? Well, why the hell would Drake, who hasn't spoke on this lawsuit, go tell this random guy these very intricate details about the lawsuit that he, to be honest, I haven't even asked him about, because when I did ask him about the lawsuit, he didn't share too many things. And I'm one of those people, when I get in a relationship with you, if Wack right now, if I ask Wack about a sensitive topic, he kind of ducks it. I'm not pressing. That's my brother, right?
Right.
So when Drake doesn't offer the information about the lawsuit to me, I'm like, all right, I get it.
You could take that as, oh, he doesn't want to talk about it. If he wanted to talk about it, he would have been more forthcoming.
There you go. So it's real. Hey, I can have my opinion about it, but he's not going to give me an exclusive on, yo, this is why I'm doing it.
Got it.
That's one of the reasons why I reached out. Now, again, I haven't followed up with Drake in the back and forth about it. Again, his official comment to me about it was, yeah, I know the dude. For him, he says the story goes like this. The dude, he's been tripping. He said, I called the dude a rat in whatever capacity. And I guess people are kind of like summing that up to be like, well, that actually matches up with what he says. He called the dude a rat, and the dude basically then retaliated by saying, hey, well, I'm going to put this out about you. Drake told me, he said, listen, what he's saying because he's mad that I didn't go with whatever rat shit he's with, he's now pumping up to the people to say, this is Drake doing A, B, C, and D. So he said that's fake. Okay? So again, the internet is a great place. I'm still not sitting here saying that, oh no, Drake is the 100% truth. First of all, Drake's still a rapper who has a public image.
Right.
Right? And I try not to ask him about every single thing. And I usually present it to him to say, I don't ask you about every single thing, but I do expect the truth, right? He said the dude was flying, right? And was tweaked out, whatever the case is. The dude put up something that appears to be some type of message, right? And such is the case, I think at that point you gotta go with what you believe. I think it's interesting at this point, you know?
If Drake is responsible for exposing LeBron James as a cheater, that would be pretty poetic given his current feelings towards LeBron, right?
Here's the interesting part about it, because I think the people who want me to like say some crazy shit about Drake, because I've seen the narrative like, yo, you have to whatever about Drake. I think Drake has been trying to expose LeBron James. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, but why though? Why would he want to expose LeBron? Because LeBron was playing. Because LeBron was playing Kendrick's song.
He was singing along. He's buddy with him.
What's wrong with that? Why does LeBron got to pick sides?
He did way too much.
Wait, hold on. I'll tell you why. And just because I know this is the Adam and Wax show, and I know I love that show, and Adam's my man, and Wax my man as well.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what I think. Here's the thing. I am gonna feel a certain type of way if. Again, remember, this is only coming from the mind and opinion of academics. When I know it comes to certain things, this is why I don't like to ask artists certain things, because it kills my speculation, right? Because now I got to go against them, because I got to call them a liar or not. When I don't, now it leaves me my journalistic freedom to speculate. But this is how I feel, and I think this is how Drake looks at it. Hey, is it breaking man code or whatever? Call it what you want. But LeBron, every time you done come to Toronto, you and Drake been kicking it. Y'all been on some two-man. Stop it.
Yeah.
You know what you've been doing.
There's a bro code. When it comes to getting, yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
Here's the thing. If I'm the person to make sure that you get your shit off, get your rocks off, I'm keeping it low, I'm getting the chicks. By the way, I know a few girls in Toronto, for whatever reason, look like they're more liberal to be a little bit more, less holding down right now. I don't know what it is. which I think that gets into the Drake thing, because I think Drake is just like, yo, if me and you went on some two-mans, you can't be dancing to the song "Call Me a Pedophile." You can't. Not
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
Not you. If me and you, Whack, if me and you went on a bunch of two-mans, you can say anything, but you cannot dance to the anthem.
Yeah, you
of
can't
me
do
being
that.
a pedophile.
Yeah, if that's what's going
you
on.
should be saying, you know what you should be saying? I ain't gonna lie, Ack is a lot of things. He's a piece of shit. I ain't gonna lie, he's not a faithful man. You could say anything, but you supposed to be my number one defender when they drop a song saying certified lover boy, certified what? You supposed to say, hold on, I don't know nothing about that. This guy right here,
bro, you act like LeBron played it over and over again at the Olympics or something.
Man, he was shimmying to it. He was having way too much fun. He might as well have hopped on the remix.
No. Yo, Whack, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is what we got to call Whack out, man.
LeBron played for the Lakers, don't he?
No,
Yeah.
Whack.
There it is.
Whack, you're waving the West Coast flag a little bit too heavy.
Who?
No, that's
me.
Whack. I don't know what happened. I don't know if Top Dog hollered.
No, bro. I don't. You know I don't respect what Drake's doing, and you know why I don't respect what he's doing. Because you're trying to expose the very same thing that contributed to making him who he is today.
UMG shit.
Yeah, that's
not talking about the UMG shit. Now, the UMG shit, I'm going to be honest with you.
That's where he lost me.
And again, this will be an Adam and Whack exclusive, right? If it is true, let's imagine if, say Drake didn't tell me the truth, and that is actually a factual conversation. I don't think it holds water. I don't think Drake's logic, even in the DMs, make sense. I don't agree. That has nothing to do with his treatment of LeBron, right? I've been with you, Whack, in a sense of, you going against the system that has helped you, and the system that, to be honest, everything you could accuse of somebody could also say you've been the first beneficiary of. I'm with. But one thing I'll also agree with is that LeBron James, you tattooed that man on your chest. Y'all had Nike or the Sprite commercials. Y'all thought y'all were friends. Now, I think that's a bigger picture, honestly. I think Drake has fostered a lot of fake relationships that he thought was going to pan out for him, and that he felt they owed him something, that I thought those people looked at him to say, just as fake as you were to us, we are to you. So I agree with that, but I can't fault a man who, even if I wouldn't do those relationships, he's like, I tatted you on my... Like, you got to imagine, Whack, if your whole demeanor is about you've never cheated on your wife, you got this clean image, stay out of all the beef that I got where I'm getting tore down and people think that I've cheated on my girl. Because I don't want to see you dancing to some shit that if you were even accused, rightly or wrongly, your brand would fold. Especially when maybe I'm the guy who's been keeping your nose clean. You should stay out of it. I think that's the LeBron aspect.
Because that's the code in the industry. Look at what Diddy's going through. Who spoke out against Diddy? Almost nobody that was actually his peer and actually around him.
Right. But ain't nobody speaking up for him either.
Yeah. That's not expected. You don't got to do that.
LeBron should have realized, I'm going to be honest with you, I think there's more to be said because I clearly understand what I believe is Drake's side in that, why the are you talking when, you know what I mean? Again, when I look at the LeBron, and again, this is just my thoughts. This is not Drake telling me nothing. When I look at Drake and LeBron, by the way, I got people in Toronto. You know what they tell me? In Toronto, when LeBron go to Toronto, Drake and the OVO niggas get him what he need. And I'm going to be very careful here. they get him what he need. The certain type of person that is discreet. Everything is cool. Nothing gets messy. LeBron has enjoyed for years the cleanest, no scandal, whatever. And as soon as
LeBron has never cheated on his wife.
But okay,
That is a lie.
LeBron being a not like us super fan just because it's a hot record and because he's a clout
Nah,
chaser
Drake
doesn't
won
make
it.
sense. He has to have had something against Drake in order to have, embraced that record.
But why would he have something against him if Drake is doing all these things? Because the things Drake was saying in there was just kept. LeBron ain't cheated on his wife, bro.
He was just doing like an example, but
he on some light skin shit.
there's some
bro.
shit you would never say.
He probably like LeBron wife. That's what it is, bro.
You know, nobody's trying to be Hannibal Buress because we all love black love. But you know damn well what's going on.
Say that
Here's
shit
the
to Remy
reality.
Ma.
Huh?
Say that to Remy.
We not talking about Remy. We talking about LeBron. You talking about Remy and Papu. We talking about LeBron James. Yo, put it like this.
LeBron James has not cheated on his wife.
Hold on, stop
He
it.
loves his
LeBron
wife.
James took a whole month from the Lakers because he said he was going through some shit. I think that nigga got some blood transfusion like on some Kobe shit back in the day shit. You think LeBron wants a scandal where his woman Savannah James is showing up courtside to start mugging him? Stop it.
Bro, first of all, Drake's just a rapper. Right?
What I mean?
His wife is not gonna start acting any different towards him because a rapper is on somebody else's DM saying a bunch of stuff that just isn't true. Just not true.
I can argue about this all day.
Where's the lady at? Where's the individual? Where's the female? If Drake is the one hooked LeBron up, then where's the female he cheated with?
You go through this, but let me bring you to the real world of niggas who be dealing with women who, even if they're good women, they start having that thought that.
Then that ain't your woman. You dealing with little girls.
No. Don't do that. That woman start thinking, hey, I know you a good man, but every time you with Whack 100, he got all the hoes around.
That ain't got nothing to do with him, bro.
Hey,
my whole circle used to smoke and drink and everything, and I never let them pass me the blunt or the cup or the 40.
Whack, you're talking for yourself. I'm telling you.
LeBron is a good man, man. Well, he's a great father.
I'm not throwing LeBron
great husband. Drake is over there discombobulated, upset because he was rocking to the Kendrick song. And like at the end of the day, bro, maybe LeBron just thought it was a good song like everybody else.
Whack, this is where you're out of pocket. Let's say everything I'm saying is make-believe. Even if it's make-believe, knowing if you're LeBron James and what you got to lose, why would you show up and go dance to your
I'm going to tell you why LeBron showed up to it. He showed up and danced to it because he has absolutely nothing to hide.
Hold on. No, Cat.
He has nothing to hide.
How does that make sense?
He's not thinking, oh, if I do this, Drake going to expose me. Because there's nothing there to expose. Drake's lying.
Why? Let me say this. This is the academic thought. I gotta say this. Let me tell you this. There might be a world where Drake might internalize. Because you have to realize when Drake is sitting back thinking, why don't all these people like me? Now, he did smash a couple of their girls. But the people in question, he did nothing of the sort to.
What
why
people?
Would this guy don't like me? Hold on. Let me tell you this.
What people?
I'm telling you this, Whack.
What people does he think doesn't like him?
Kendrick. Oh, no.
Kendrick doesn't dislike Drake. It was a simple rap battle.
No.
Simple.
So when two people get in the ring and one knocks the other one out, you think you don't like them? It's just, it's a sport.
Whack, stop it. Drake is sitting back and Drake is saying, these part of the reason why we have some envy is because of the lifestyle I've led versus them.
Man, Kendrick ain't tripping that. He don't even buy designer.
You ain't gonna like this.
Kendrick don't even buy designer.
Kendrick a whole. All right, that's
He
what
don't
I'm saying.
even
These
wear.
guys
He
are
don't care
hypocrites.
about that
Hold on.
kind of stuff.
You ain't let me talk. Kendrick, a whole married man, told about he loved his wife, this and third. But at every 2 seconds, he tried to say how he loved white women. He's Dr. Umar's kryptonite. Come on.
I don't know nothing about that. We love
okay,
everybody.
But he rapped
We
about
love
it.
everybody.
Hold on. But he rapped about it. Not the Black Messiah talking about that he only liked soy milk. He ain't rap about it. What?
Listen, rap
Did he
music
rap
is
about it? Yes or no?
entertainment. I
I
don't know.
know. Did he?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, he did.
I think you're lying
He
like
rapped
Drake.
about it.
Now
He
I'm starting to
talked
believe you were part of the lie with Drake.
Who wouldn't like white
Hold
women?
on. Cut it out. Hold on.
We
Second
like
thing.
everybody.
Hold on. Second thing.
That's like a
LeBron
black man
should've-
saying he don't
hold
like
on.
a white boy saying he don't like black women. We're like,
LeBron should have minded his business.
bro, hey, let me explain
because-
something to you.
Yo,
It was a
wait,
LeBron
hold on.
before
You not let me
Drake,
finish.
and it'll be a LeBron
Let me
after
finish.
Drake.
LeBron
Drake run will
should've
run out
minded
before
his
LeBron.
business. Yo, hold on. You know who the first person to out LeBron?
Nobody. You can't
Stop
out a
it.
person
You're
with a
lying.
lie.
No. It was Drake's first op, and Drake picked up for him. You know who it was? Pusha T.
No.
Go back and listen to that song when he says, yo, I used to f with a white bitch that looked like Madonna in them. He says, like that Bron? He said, I had that long time in them. He said
That's
to
just
Bron. He
dude
said, Bron,
rhyming.
that white girl,
That's
I had
just Pusha T rhyming.
Pusha
Why, yo,
T
Adam, for real?
exposed
Why do they
LeBron
act like
time
everything
ago.
a rapper
Stop
says
it.
because
Go
it sounds
back and
good in
listen to the
a
lyrics.
song? It has to be the truth.
But that's a
Everybody
huge
now
rumor.
wants to say
That's a
Drake is liar.
rumor. It's not a
Everybody wanna
fact.
say Drake is a liar.
Pusha
and all these
T-
other guys are telling the truth.
Listen, bro.
So why now is Drake a liar? And then why these guys not telling the truth no more?
Everybody
Pusha
that
T-
killed Drake on the rap battle, you got something against him.
No.
Pusha T destroyed Drake. You know it.
Nah, stop it.
But yo, Ak, answer me this. So LeBron,
Popular demand by Cameron, Clips, and Pharrell. Like that Bron?
yep,
I had that long time ago.
classic.
That's
what he
just
said.
him using words. There's no truth to it.
Ak, explain this to me.
Hey, Wack.
You're a New York
there-
Knicks
Let me
fan.
say this. I guarantee LeBron step away from the Lakers and it ain't gonna be because of the forest
I
fire.
bet he won't.
There's a fire at home.
I bet he
There's a
won't.
fire at home.
Drake
Stop
ain't
it.
Drake ain't that powerful. He just a fucking rapper.
Hey,
He
hold
got
on.
some
I'm
money.
not saying
He
Drake
got
not
a
powerful,
jet.
but put it like
Dude
this.
ain't
Put it
moving
like
nothing in the sports world. Drake ain't moving nothing in the sports
I
world.
remember being in a
He
relationship.
ain't bigger than LeBron. Drake ain't bigger than LeBron.
Wack, I remember like 7 years ago, I'm in a relationship. My chick used to think it's the nigga I'm with. She'd be like, nah, I got a good man, but every time he's with this guy, that's when he started the bullshit. That's Drake and that's LeBron. That's why he telling LeBron, stop playing. I don't want you crip walking. Nigga, keep scoring your points and helping Bronny James lame ass score some.
But he
like, get on the
already
court.
did it. He's already done it.
Alright, well,
He did
hold
the
on,
walk.
put it like
Listen,
this.
he
If I
did the
tatted
walk.
your face on
He
me, I gotta
attended
let
the
you know.
shows. He attended
Stop
the
it,
show.
Wack.
He posted it. He promoted it. He did it already.
You're full of shit. All right,
He did do it.
Ak, what is the significance of so LeBron had this clip of him doing a ridiculous left-handed windmill is what the NBA called it, and then Yes Jules quote tweeted it with I don't even know what to call that emoji, but the tweet has 8 million views, which is not really what you would expect from the average person quote tweeting a clip of somebody doing a good dunk. What is Yes Jules trying to say by inserting herself into this?
I don't know, because Yes Jules had denied this about 5-6 years ago.
That's why I'm saying it's such a crazy time for her to just pick up and hop into this.
It's the clout.
Yo, here's the thing I'll tell you.
This is crazy.
There's a few girls in Toronto. Trust me, they try
Cap.
to get on the Akademiks train, and I ain't trying to be Hannibal Buress. Just remember that.
Ooh.
Okay? So whatever Drake got talking about, it looked like Drake may have pulled. He's pulling it back to say, I'm not okay, if you dancing to my op, I'm not defending and keeping your secrets. If I got your secrets, and it's not that he's blackmailing him, but I got your secrets,
Ain't no secret. Drop it then. Tell Drake to drop it then.
Drake ain't gonna drop it. The girls
Cause he ain't got it. The girls ain't gonna drop it because it don't exist.
The girls
LeBron never cheated on his wife, bro. That's it, bro.
The girls are trying to drop it.
No, they're not. You don't even know them. You're lying.
If they're trying to drop it, and if they struck out with you, they're gonna do it with somebody else.
There's no trying to. They just dropped it.
Hold on. Hey, listen.
You ride with your man Drake, right?
I don't hear nothing about Drake doing that, but it appears maybe Drake has some time, because, again, just put 2 and 2 together. If every time Adam is cheating on his girl, we're making this up, Adam cheating on his girl, he comes over to New Jersey. So these New Jersey people, they're like, all right, we know how we got to move with him, blah, 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 blah. Then me and Adam get into it. Now those people from New Jersey saying, wait, so we don't got to, there's no more protection for what we could have benefited off of? Shit gets a little spooky. Now, I don't think it's going to go all the way there, because I think LeBron's a smarter mother. I just don't know why it got there. And this is why, even though I like Drake, I still got to think he did something, because if I'm LeBron, why would you ever push the guy that has this button that he could press unless he did something to you? That's what we don't know what.
Yeah, we're going to figure it out.
We might not need to know what happened, because, again, would you give, if you're LeBron James with this perfect image, would you give somebody else this button to press?
Somebody like Drake who's got a lot to lose? Yes. Random, probably not.
Well, would you go dance at basically his funeral hoping that he wouldn't press the button? Or would you just say, I'm going to stay out of it?
No, that's a fact.
Listen, I'm going to tell you this. It's all speculation. Drake need to get out his feelings. Yo, Kendrick beat his ass so much. It's what we on 8 months later, some shit, he's still crying. Don't you believe that he need to let it go, bro? It's over with.
Whack. Put it like this. This is not even a Kendrick thing. This is a, hey, listen, I got into it, right? I got into it in my arena, and I seen my friend pop up on the other side. My friend could have shut up. My friend, just like when he's into shit, I'm not in there egging it on, trying to be on the other person's side. I do think it's kind of crazy. I don't know if because LeBron must think that they're going to build it. They're not giving that nigga no statue at the Staples Center. Why the f*** is he into it like that? You don't agree?
Brother, that's all I'm going to say. Drake stay rapping. Drake's killing himself off. He going at you, making a lot of enemies. He killing off a lot of relationships he going to need. LeBron, great relationship. UMG, and no telling who else. I'm just saying this. LeBron didn't cheat on his wife.
UMG,
Drake is trying to get some get back by telling a lie. If the women are out there, put up or shut up.
Hey, I don't like what you say that, because we all know what happened to Tiger Woods. When the women start putting up, there is no shutting up.
LeBron's not Tiger Woods.
Hey, LeBron can't survive that.
LeBron claims to be black. Tiger said he's not. If the girls are out there, I dare y'all, pull up the no jumper. Come tell us about it. Right? You got any heart?
Right now.
If you say you was the one with LeBron, come holler at us at no jumper. Until then, we don't want to hear about it. You're a hater because this man LeBron celebrated a hit song that even you academics are parading around your house. You were dancing to it too. Were you not?
Yeah, he don't got me tatted on his chest.
It don't matter. Was you not?
He don't got me tatted on his chest.
Well, but he calls and gives you the inside scoop, right?
Yo, he wasn't setting up the side chicks when I went to Toronto.
He gives you the inside scoop, right?
Yeah, but me and him, we don't have a brotherhood like him and LeBron.
This time this week, I got a request. Act.
What?
I need to put you on the phone with somebody.
I got you, of course.
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg said he want to make things right.
I love Snoop.
What's wrong with Snoop?
I guess he said they got off to a bad start. You know.
Put me on the phone with Snoop. What the
Well, that's easy too. I mean, shit.
Nah, come on, Adam. Where's your turn? Where's your turn?
No, his album rollout, Bootleg Cave, got the interview. I didn't try. I didn't know the album was coming out, but you know that would have been a nice look for the show, right?
Okay, well we could do that too, but I'll need to get y'all on the phone.
Certain people we could never really be at odds with. It's Uncle Snoop. We love Snoop. No matter what, we will get to it. The only person that I might need your help with is Shaquille O'Neal. Right now, I think I'm second on his hated list behind Dwight Howard.
I didn't know about that. Why does Shaq hate you?
Yo, Shaq said I was up his pimping because like I had posted that he DM'd the girl that was like going viral that worked at
the Home Depot girl. Everybody posted about that,
yeah,
but you broke that. Yeah, he DM'd me one day. It was the most confusing message. I've never been more confused. He said, and I read in the Shaq voice. He said, "Little bro, are you broke?" And when he said, "If I'm broke," I usually talk a lot of money, but I felt broke when Shaq said I'm broke. I said I'm broke. So I was like, I guess I'm broke. So anyway, and then we came to time of the Super Bowl. He had this big party. And then they're like, yo, Shaq never forgets. They were trying to get me to go there. And I didn't want to go confront Shaq because I'm like, I love Shaq, but I don't think he liked me at that point. Yeah, I mean, you
hating on Shaq.
You narrowly avoided getting, buka-buka'd by Diddy before he caught the indictment. So you definitely don't want to give Shaq an opportunity.
He getting what?
Nah,
Buka-buka?
Diddy was going to give it to him.
What you mean?
He tried to get him to go to a party in London.
Oh, yeah, he was gonna break you off.
I'll give another Whack and Adam show exclusive.
Okay, we need that.
I may have not spoken to Diddy, and he brought that exactly up the moment I spoke to him. And you won't even know who put us on the phone.
6ix9ine?
Boy 6ix9ine.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
Yo, he put you on the phone while he was in there?
Hey,
I know they should have been in the same area.
No. Yo, that shit was so crazy. The nigga called me, and he was just like, yo, Ack, everything good? Like, he's locked up. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. How you? I'm like, yo, bro, you doing dumb shit. You got to stop, blah, blah. I try to ream him out real quick. And then he like, yo, bro. He's like, yo, you ever talk to Diddy? I'm like, nah, whatever. And then all of a sudden, I swear, this was the craziest thing ever. He says, yo, you want to talk to him? I'm like, nah, I'm down to talk to him. I swear, Six says, yo, Diddy, come here. Promise you. 2 seconds, he walks over and be like, yo, what up, Playboy? I couldn't believe it.
Wow. That's crazy to meet somebody who's such an icon at the lowest point that they'll ever be at in their entire life. Probably.
Diddy be all right. He coming home.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You said
Diddy coming home.
By the way,
coming home.
I won't get into too much of that convo because, by the way, I think if he ever gets out, and this is the great thing about 6ix9ine, like, not only was he super encouraging, at least in the mental space where Diddy was, when I got on the phone with Diddy says, yo, I'm going to see you when I get out. And I was like, I couldn't tell. I didn't know what to take that. I'm like, huh? But, it is what it is.
Yo, Ack.
What up?
Can you, you see what I sent you on Tory?
Yo, no, I ain't see it, but hold on. Whack.
Yeah.
Could you please stop slapping niggas at no jumper, man?
I ain't never touched nobody.
Niggas was playing when you were loose, and I'm finally glad that examples will be made, but
I never touched anybody.
Oh, that's true.
I don't think nobody got slapped.
Oh, yeah. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Yo, niggas said that was the craziest footage I've ever seen on video, man. I'm like, yo, I thought the whole strip somebody on camera was like a myth. It was real.
Ack, I sent you the promo clip for the You Been Exposed talent, the thing we shooting, the reality show. Can you please do your job? Thank you.
Hey, by the way, yo, Whack, I'm going to keep it. This is how I know you graduate. I can't believe you allow Adam to run with maybe putting R&B on goddamn Plug Talk, because I would imagine you would have slapped him all the way.
They did it, bro. They did it behind my back. What I'm gonna do, bro? I'm in love. I tried to leave her, but I came back.
Stop it, man. You think Adam can handle that?
Nah, man, that's a whole lot to handle. You seen all that?
That's a lot. I think I could handle it, but just barely. I might need a dick pill.
It's a lot. I lays in it though.
All right, Ak, I'm gonna holler at you.
Hey, Ak, you going live tonight, right? You going live tonight, right?
You going live tonight?
No. Tomorrow. I'm having like internet issues, man. Like I don't know what the hell happened on the East Coast when I went to Jamaica, but
shit.
Tomorrow night.
You interviewed Top 5 while you were out there?
Oh man, that was a movie. Yo, Whack. I gotta get y'all to be cool, man.
Oh,
Top 5
wow.
a real nigga. Actually, yo, my boy Boondog, real nigga, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I posted a screenshot of him on FaceTime and I got hit up like, delete that.
I'm gonna call you when I'm done, Ak.
All right, much love, Ak. Appreciate you. All right, you want to see something? As long as we're doing the Drake conversation, I thought this was kind of interesting.
Yo, man, Kendrick got Drake really like out of his body, bro.
Look at this. Slow reader.
Oh,
What do you think? That's pretty funny, right?
definitely.
I'll flesh it out for the people, but I posted a clip of Lena and another girl, and a Drake song was playing. So I tagged him in it. I did the invisible tag where you tag him and you drag it to the side so nobody could see it. He responds, "Why am I tagged in this?" Probably didn't have the sound on. And he said, "Your wife is a goddess. Let's be real. No disrespect." So before any of y'all out there ever feel like criticizing my wife, just know we 6 God approved. And that's a real screenshot.
You know he's a black man.
I'm glad that you're giving him that. A lot of people have tried to take that away from him this year.
He is black. His father's black.
I agree. But Rick Ross out here calling him white boy. What's wrong with being a white boy?
Nothing.
All right. Dejan gets quit from Figmunity.
No, he got fired.
Fired from Figmunity.
He got fired. Dude was farting too much.
Farting?
Yeah, then he sharded. He sharded and sat there instead of getting up. He sat there and it got all in the couch twice.
I don't want to think about him farting. Can you
He
imagine what the
sharded.
cleanup job would be like?
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, they got tired of it,
It'd be
bro.
like hosing down an elephant.
You tried to act like it didn't happen, and then they did a vote. You know, they said when he did a bunny hop. He was like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. Like, because they were on good terms, but you're shorting, bro. You gotta figure it out.
Do you know what it was actually about? It was, so he basically like bullied multiple people off of that podcast that he was on Figmunity. There was a dude, Stet, and then there's another dude, Scotty. And he was basically so toxic and aggressive and weird to both of these dudes that they both ended up leaving the podcast, even though they were already on the podcast before he got added to the podcast. What do you
mean, like aggressive how? Like making advances at him?
No, the dude Scotty, I don't think it was like directly at him, but he was basically just made the environment so toxic that the dude Scotty wanted to leave. But then the dude Stet, who's like kind of worked for T-Rail for a long time or whatever, he basically like they got into such an intense argument about it that I guess Stet started to like tear up a little bit. And so then Dejan kept saying, why don't you go cry? Why don't you go cry? Like being such a head about it to such an absurd extent that Stet ended up leaving the podcast as well. But that kind of turned into like all the other dudes on that network apparently not Stet either, because apparently Pun hates Stet, which I didn't understand. But yeah, Dejan basically did all that damage to that side podcast that they had. And then after that, you know, the other dude, Keem, he's like down with TDE or whatever, the light-skinned dude. He was critical of Dejan, and Dejan went on Instagram in the comments and basically made fun of his dad, who apparently used to smoke crack and is now dead. And he said a bunch of shit about the maggots are eating your dead dad. Crazy shit.
But soon as you get at him, he plays victim.
Yeah. And then, okay, because there was no mention when he posted his statement about leaving Figmunity, there was no mention of anything besides homophobia. It was just purely, I've chosen to separate and leave because I'm sick and tired of being made fun of for being gay, yada, yada. No mention of, telling your coworker that you are happy his dad's dead or whatever.
He's full of shit. That's why I used to shart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that type of dude, I hate when people do that. Like, bro, don't act one way and then when it comes back at you, now all of a sudden you want to use the card. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Oh, it's because of this. No, it's because of what you was doing to people, not what people was doing to you.
Mm. No, 100%. Yeah. I mean, it's just so obvious at this point that this dude's a piece of shit. He's been trying to make content and get some kind of following going in LA for almost 10 years. His average podcast gets a couple hundred views. So he has no organic fan base because those numbers did not move after he left No Jumper. They stayed exactly the same. Nobody gives a fuck about him. He goes on Fake Immunity. The only way that he was able to bring in any kind of audience at all was just by being super toxic and beefing with the other people on the podcast who, from what I could tell, seemed like they were enjoying the podcast because they were able to actually have decent conversations. He completely, he got the numbers up, but he did so by just being a huge toxic asshole to everybody involved. And then he leaves there, and I mean, obviously, it's just he had a tweet about being the first gay person in the history of LA hip hop media or whatever. It got like 80 likes. I mean, normally leaving your platform because of homophobia and being the first gay pioneer in a category, normally that gets you some kind of recognition.
Well, he's just a guy over there named Jason Lee.
Yeah, well, that's
dummy.
He would say he's not hip hop.
Who? Jason Lee is part of the culture.
I would agree, but I think that he's less hip-hop specific.
Jason's part of the culture.
Agreed.
Period. From the bottom to the top and everything in between. So I don't even know, I blame you for that. When you let that dude come up here, he had his little report card thing going, but it was going to get his ass whooped. When you brought him up here, it kind of became a thing.
He kind of stopped doing the report cards once he got up here. I feel like it became less important. I can't believe we gave him a chance, honestly. I kind of feel bad about it.
You did it.
I did, yeah. Honestly, Josh did. But Josh asked my permission, so I gotta support him.
Oh.
It was a fun little arc, but overall it wasn't worth it. I mean, think about it. Who would ever hire him again? But I said this after he fake getting shot. I said,
getting shot.
I don't know who would ever hire him again. They did hire him for a period of time. I just don't think after the way that went down, now you've really burnt all your bridges. And with the radio stations, who would take him on at this point?
Nobody. You can't trust him. He lies. He's disrespectful. He violates others. He's not sensitive towards other people's feelings. And then if you say something back to him, he plays victim, and then he fakes getting shot. What are you going to fake next?
Yeah. He might want to switch to a different niche. Maybe he'll start doing makeup content or hairdresser content.
How about just get a hot dog stand and put a big-ass hot dog hat on your big-ass hot dog-looking ass and sell you some hot dogs?
Yeah. No.
Hot dog it.
100%. Okay, so it's been reported by me that you told me that after I went to the Fodies that 3 people got killed. I've asked around a lot. I have not heard anybody else confirm this.
Well, they called me. They said, yo, the Fodies got helicopters everywhere. 3 people just got killed or shot. I said, well, Adam, man. I said, I called you. I'm like, Adam, listen, they say it's hot over there. Now, I did double back and call back over there, and something had happened to where they had the dogs loose and the birds in the air. They was looking for somebody. Quite naturally, they're going to hate on 4 extras. You know, they're going to say, he got the hood hot. All this is happening because of him. But if they looking for somebody with some dogs, what the hell that got to do with 4 extras? But again, we come from an environment to where people are jealous of other people's growth and movement. And you going over there to that area probably did it.
You think that was a bad move for me?
No, it was a great move for you. It's just 4 extras is finna start experiencing something he ain't used to. You know what I'm saying?
What, you think the cops are going to be looking at him crazier after this? Or
everybody.
Everyone.
His ops, his homies, and the police. He's loud over there in a good way, but even the good brings bad attention.
Yeah. I don't know what his situation is, where he stays at, et cetera, but for sure, he probably should make his way to another location if at all possible, right? He's just so well known, instantly. He's just become such a fixture in LA.
Well, it's been amplified here.
True.
I knew first time I've ever seen him was here, or actually on his live or whatever they was doing when they came up here. So you knew his name, you heard his name, But you know, that's what come with it. And you know, I hope it work out for him. I believe he a good dude. He mean well. He's definitely has the character and personality for it. But I just know how it goes, bro. Like if you ain't able to move around and move up out of there, it'll swallow you up.
Yeah. I mean, we were all having a good old time over there, but meanwhile, I disappear into the valley, and then he's still in that area, presumably.
While people was calling, this nigga got whoop over there. What? What? He think, oh yeah, he over there. Oh, he think he what? He doing what? Oh, he filming that song. What? Yeah, that all, and then there it goes, spread. You know what I'm saying? Now you gotta mix his history. He prides himself on what? Whooping dudes' ass in LA County Jail. A lot of them dudes get out.
No,
you know, when they get out on these streets, they get the equalizer. And hate is already there because of what might have happened in there. Now you out here shining, or you out here glowing. You got Adam 22. You got what? You doing what? You got what? You doing? And there it go. You got some niggas that'll rat to the police. Some niggas that'll get mad, try to come through. So, you know, he got to deal with it, but he got to adjust.
If Crip Mac could wiggle and avoid getting into any situations, 4X has got a shot.
4X's love the hood too much. He love it. He'll tell you that.
Yeah. Crip Mac was going back, though. But I heard some stories about some near situations that took place when Crip Mac was going back to the hood, though. So, I mean, I don't suggest he do a lot of that when he gets out either.
Yeah, he bet not. You know what I mean? He got lucky. Crip, I know he got lucky on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got lucky. They gave him a shot. You better come home and do what's right.
No, that's a fact. All right. You ready to hang it up? We did give Akademiks like 40 minutes of airtime, but...
Now watch this.
What?
50 Cent calls Jim Jones a rat.
Yeah.
Based upon the recordings that I investigated and called him a rat on 3 years ago on Clubhouse.
Really? Okay.
So New York said I hated New York for saying it. So what are you going to say about the 50 for saying it? That is the same recording that 6ix9ine led me to, and I listened to the recording, and everything about that recording shows that Jim Jones was conspiring to commit the crime, conspiring and shot calling. They played this recording in the trial, which means Jim Jones had to authenticate the recording, and 6ix9ine himself told me Jim Jones was the number 2 behind him if he didn't take the stand and get his deal. Same recording. It's conspiracy all through that. Ain't no way of getting out of that. But now 50 Cent says it. I want to see what they got to say. When I said it, they said I was hating New York. No, I was just speaking on what I heard about an individual. And it really like, I didn't want to do it. Jim Jones was my friend. I knew him. He did a song with Coyote I wasn't able to release. But when the shit came out, we talked about it. It was what it was. So now 50 Cent, I don't know what he did to 50 Cent.
Yeah, I mean, well, you don't know what he did? Like, basically, 50 and Cam were having a conversation on his show, which is kind of big because if you remember, this situation was reversed like 20 years ago because 50 and Cam were beefing, and then Jim Jones came out at Summer Jam or whatever, performed at a concert with 50, and that basically drove a huge wedge between Cam and Jim Jones, and they didn't get back together for like 10 years or some shit like that.
So individual one is what they refer to as Jim Jones in that recording, I guess.
Yeah, but to be fair, 50 is a fearsome titan of beef when it comes down to it. But I think he's also willing to, hop on board with any random rumor that he's ever heard, too.
That ain't no rumor, it's a recording.
How much do you think that he's actually investigated
It's a recording. It's the same recording 6ix9ine led us to. He said, bro, I cooperated. He was number 2 behind me, and he gave us a recording. I listened to it. Everything about that recording got conspiracy all the way through it.
Yeah, I mean, TMZ's got the transcript right here.
There you go.
Of how this conversation actually went down.
And the dude he talking to is a shot caller on the books. He telling the shot caller, nah, you don't do that. You do this. And you go make such and such do that, and you do this, and y'all do it like this, that. Dude is telling Jim, yeah, I'm a such and such, and have Shotty, whatever. Nah, this is the way you handle that. You tell him to do this, and then you do that, and then it's no way you're getting out of that. It's a conspiracy. Dry conspiracy, you could have got a phone count, a few things.
Interesting.
You ain't gonna stay free though, unless.
But from my perspective, didn't he just say like, y'all need to super violate him?
No, that's what it led up to after all the instructions, right? When you start giving, if you the shot caller, right? And you like, yeah, whack, this how I'm gonna have it done. I'm gonna have such and such do it. You just telling me, I'm like, nah. Feds listening, right? Nah, that ain't what you gonna do. Have him do this, and then you fall back and this and do it like this, and then dude ain't got no money to do this, and then security can't have guns because of this, and then that's how you move on him like that and get this done like that. They gonna say, who the fuck is this dude talking to Adam? We got Adam at the top of the board. Well, let's change it. Take his picture out, move Jim up top. They use the record. Anytime they use a recording in a trial, it was authenticated by the individual on that recording. It's conspiracy all through there. And how you got out of it, we don't know. But I mean, 50 giving it some attention now. 3 years ago, we did on the Hunter side, me and CEO Reek. And my man B. So we'll see what happens now. They said I did it because I hated New York. I said, I didn't say New York. I'm saying the individual. But now this is a New Yorker addressing a New Yorker with the same content. We'll see what they say.
And one thing I learned from watching Patrick CC's video about Wendy Williams recently is, or not that I learned, but I was reminded of, is that when 50 don't like you, it's a lifelong project of heaping dirt on your name. He don't give up easily, because even when Wendy started to get to the point where she was super sick and everything, 50 was just still going with it.
Yeah, I mean,
Brutal
one thing
shit.
50 didn't do, he didn't allow his career change to change him. He never went to Curtis. He always stayed 50 Cent. And 50 Cent is a rapper, and he came into the game talking about getting shot, putting in work, hustling, Southside Queens. So guess what? He don't have to change now that he's a mogul in television or liquor or whatever else he's doing. They accepting him as 50. They can't use it against him as they probably would other people.
But you know what it is? Most people don't want to be the person who's constantly shitting on other people, because it really kind of opens the doors for them to shit on you, right?
Yeah,
the thing with 50 is that he's got such a clean image, which is kind of ironic to say. Like, what's the worst thing you can say about him? You got shot a bunch of times, so he gives a that makes you look gangster, if anything.
He used that to build his rap career.
Right. So it's like with him attacking people, attacking Diddy, Jim Jones, Wendy Williams, whoever the fuck it is, it's like it never really comes back to him that much, and he's able to entertain the fuck out of his audience, but his career is such that he's made so few bad moves that it's like there's nothing you can really throw at him.
That's good. I mean, shout out 50, shout out my man Uncle Murder over there. Shout out DJ Robbie Rob. That's 50's DJ. He just told me today they going on tour. But at the end of the day, I want to look back and I want to hear what they got to say, because now it's a New Yorker addressing it.
Yeah, I don't feel like anybody's ever really made much of a dent in 50's career in terms of like, what are you going to say to diss him?
Pretty much nothing.
They call him a snitch because he put out a song like 25 years ago that like named off some street beef that had already basically been documented in books and shit. That's pretty weak.
Okay, before we go,
yeah,
I just left DJ Vlad. I asked him, he was with it. Akademiks is with it. He's helping me market and promote and push the You've Been Exposed, the winner. One of their things that I'm providing for them, outside of several other things, is they get to get an interview with Vlad, Akademiks, and that No Jumper with Adam 22. Vlad agreed, Ak agreed. Do you agree to let the winner?
He's just, this random person is going to get an interview with Vlad and No Jumper?
Yeah, that's part of my package. So that's what I'm offering them. It's a 10-episode series.
I could see him popping in on the No Jumper show. A whole separate interview. I mean,
so Kenny Keaton come in and sit down with us an interview.
We could do something. Oh, coming in on this? Okay, yeah, I could definitely see that. A whole like an hour-long interview. I mean, that's just, I feel like that's a bad look.
So we can get him in here with us and he can do his interview.
We could do that, yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Segment.
So we got Adam and No Jumper on the 22 stirring the rooster, Adam 22 and Whack 100 show.
Let's
there
go.
It goes. I'm pretty sure R&B is going to kidnap this soundbite and go do her editing magic. It's been a long day. We actually drove out this morning. We were supposed to come out last night. I said, nah, we go out. I wasn't feeling it.
What time you wake up to come here?
To come here?
Yeah.
Well, I was shit. You know, I woke her up about 5.
Sheesh.
But we didn't leave till 8.
It's always my least favorite days when you gotta get up before
left
the
at 8.
sun comes
We
up.
didn't leave till I woke up at 5 because I knew it was gonna be a long day and it was gonna interfere with me busting nuts.
That's awesome. I want to thank you for allowing R&B to appear on Plug Talk.
I didn't allow.
She just did it.
Yeah, y'all went behind my back.
You're on cleanup duty.
Y'all went behind my back, and I see you hold a grudge. That's another conversation. You know what I'm saying? I got to take her over here to the little place they got, you know, where they strip them and they sit them around the thing, and it helps purify her. I don't know what the hell y'all did to her. I don't.
Take her to the fire department.
No.
Well, actually,
They don't have no water. She'll be wetter than their hose.
Smack the like button. I think I'm gonna try to drop this like Friday or Saturday, and then drop the girl episode Sunday.
That'll work.
That might be good. I'm gonna
That'll
tell
work.
Laura. Let's get on the phone with Laura. All right.
Lada.
Shout out to everybody who watched this. Appreciate you. Bow.
Lada.